All right, well, I'm honored to have touched down here in LAX and be a part of Cincinnati Game Day's sublime opportunity here to gather one part Cincinnati, one part Los Angeles for the sum of a Super Bowl here. And it goes beyond essentially the Super Bowl and the game here, but bigger things, bigger items to address going on in our world. And in this part of the panel, we're going to talk about the important fight against hunger and two faces that are leading the charge in this. Joining me now, I'm Jordan Cornett. For those who don't know who I am, shame on you. I'm totally just kidding. I should probably start because when I landed here at LAX, I was confused for Tyler Perry several times. So I should let everybody know that is not who I am.
You're ESPN guy.
I was also, yes, I'm ESPN guy is the new name. I was also called Charles Barkley, which let me know to get back on the keto diet when I get home. So now that we've addressed that, let's get to the two important people sitting here with us. We start with Jennifer Steele, the CEO of Meals on Wheels of Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky. Jennifer, thank you for joining us for this year.
So glad to be here.
As well as Vanessa Rosales of the Kroger Company, Director of Corporate Affairs. So, like I said, the theme here that we will be addressing is the fight against hunger. It's omnipresent, it's ever evolving. We're continuing to chase a way to solve and find a solution. And there may never be one. We can definitely start to crack into that and provide help for those that simply don't have the simple resources of a consistent meal, something that a lot of us take for granted. I would also like to start, Jennifer, by talking about what you guys are doing, because with your organization and some of the research I was doing, I looked at somebody like author Mackenzie Scott, who made a transformational donation of $4 million. It speaks to what you guys are doing with your organization. Can you share what you guys are doing in part for the fight of hunger? Because people like Mackenzie clearly believe in what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was the most incredible and surreal moment of my life when we when we received that gift, and it was just such a show of faith and trust in our work. And we really try to approach everything we do with the spirit of partnership and creativity. Hunger is a problem that's been around for a long time. It's a problem that's not getting any better, especially for seniors. It's only going to continue to get worse, unfortunately, as the population ages. So we're partnering with, great companies like Kroger. I mean, even though Vanessa's, from LA, we're friends and partners, and we're here today because of them, and really trying to just innovate around some of these really wicked problems and big challenges that we're facing, to bring people together and address social isolation and loneliness in addition to hunger and malnourishment. And tackle food waste and health at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vanessa, Kroger leads the way in a lot of ways in the fight against hunger as well. And one of the notes that really struck me, I think would strike everybody here, is the fact that Super Bowl Sunday is the second busiest food day of the year behind Thanksgiving. So knowing that, can you shed some light on what Kroger is doing both socially to have an environmental impact and plan in both Cincinnati and as well as Los Angeles?
Correct. So as you know, Thanksgiving's holiday number one, and Super Bowl fast became the second busiest holiday.
It's also become the coolest holiday in Cincinnati because we are here in the Super Bowl play.
Monday should be a national holiday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's
Yes,
playing.
that's very true.
But a few years back, we really wanted to have put our stake in the ground in regards to who we are and what we stand for, and we decided that we wanted to help end hunger in the communities where we work and live. And not only that, but we wanted to become a zero waste company by 2025. So that set us on a journey to really look at who we were as a corporate individual and how we could help in the community. We are in the business of food. It only makes sense that we try to address that issue. And it's 40% of the food that people purchase for consumption is thrown away. So not only do we have the issue of people not having enough to eat, we've got the issue of food being thrown away. So our approach is twofold to where we're trying to address that Meals Matter issue. And then within our stores ourselves, we're trying to reduce the amount of food that ends up in a landfill. So that's perfectly edible food that we could get over to a food pantry or a food bank, that same day or day after it's picked up by a local partner and put right back into the community.
Well, Vanessa, in terms of being timely here around Super Bowl weekend, and in some of my research, I saw that Joe Burrow and Sam Hubbard, two of the big names for our Bengals here, are involved and partner with Kroger. But what are you guys doing surrounding this weekend in terms of timeliness in the fight for hunger?
Sure. So as you mentioned, you've got a lot going on in Cincinnati. we've got the foundation we're working with in our stores. You'll find at the check stands, you can either round up or drop a spare change in a canister. We're trying to provide 1 million meals to Ohio families through that partnership with the two foundations. And we'll also, that'll run through the end of February. And then earlier today, we did host a meal packing event with at the Free Store Food Bank. So that was earlier today. And then over here in Southern California, we've got the same good thing going on at our check stands where we are collecting for LA Regional Food Bank. We're collecting funds, we're rounding up at the store, and that will go through the end of February as well. The nice thing about both campaigns that are running in Ohio and here in Southern California is in Ohio, we will round out that campaign with two $33,000 gifts to each foundation as an homage to the 33 years since the Bengals were last at the Super Bowl.
It won't be 33 after this.
Right.
The future looks very bright for our Bengals. Jennifer, we talked about that transformational donation from McKinsey, but also worth noting, Meals on Wheels Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky is one of the largest Meals on Wheels organizations in America. And you guys are really leading the charge in the fight ending senior hunger, which is equally as important, paramount. Can you share what some of those most recent initiatives that you guys are involved with?
Sure. So we're doing some really exciting work, and we really look at ourselves as a local test market in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky for projects that have the potential for national scale and impact. And the Mackenzie Scott funding in particular has enabled us to do some really interesting things that nobody's been able to try before. We've got the freedom and the flexibility to do that. So some of the really interesting things I think we're working on to end senior hunger include an investment that we've made in developing some technology alongside Findlay Market, which, you know, some of you might be familiar with, Ohio's longest operating public market. It's just a really cool place where people come together around food and community to develop some technology for online grocery ordering and delivery that is going to be accessible for seniors. One of the things we found when everything shut down during the early days of the pandemic is that the digital divide for seniors is wide, and it got dramatically wider overnight. So when we all were ordering, you know, our groceries on ClickList or, you know, getting everything online, seniors weren't able to do that. And that's not going to change either, and we're going to have to find some ways to bridge that gap. So that also will allow us to bypass some of the other challenges that seniors face when it comes to getting food. Even at a food pantry, for instance, you know, a senior can't stand in a long line. Even if they have transportation to get to a food pantry, which they probably do not, the food that is in food pantries is often in large cans. It might not be appropriate for someone living alone. It might not be in a container that they could easily open if they have arthritis in their hands, for instance. So this is going to enable us to get directly to the door of seniors the exact things that they need, and in a way that they feel empowered to make their own decisions and to place their own orders, but with the help that they need.
Yeah, that's incredible, Jennifer. I think the best way to close out the conversation here is a call to action for those out there wondering how they can help support these two incredible causes doing great things in the fight against hunger. And Vanessa, we'll start with you and we'll finish with you, Jennifer. How can shoppers help support the charities that you guys are partnering with, both during the Super Bowl and beyond?
Sure. So when you're picking up that, that pack of hot dogs and the buns this weekend and getting ready for that Super Bowl party, just make sure that there's always a way you can help. It's quick and easy. It's at our check stands, either by rounding up your till or dropping some change in those canisters. Just know that you can make that small change. It really does add up, and local partners benefit from it. It's unbelievable when we see what comes through just those canisters alone, that your small amount, that small gesture, if you think it doesn't make a difference, it really does, and it goes right back into the community, and that's the quickest way to make a quick impact.
And I think that's very simple for all those out there. Jennifer, also worth noting, the first time a Cincinnati executive have been appointed on the board of directors for the Meals on Wheels of America, a national organization. So clearly you have a heavy hand in what's going on. So for those out there, what can they do to help support Meals on Wheels?
Well, the first thing they can do is just to support the seniors in their lives. Check on the older adults. Let them know you care about them. Keep an eye out for them. But also you can volunteer at your local Meals on Wheels organization. You can certainly make a financial donation. You can support initiatives at our partner like Kroger. Or you can partner at a corporate level as a business with Meals on Wheels of America. Just giving of your time, talent, and treasure, and really just being there for seniors is going to help make a big difference.
Well, Vanessa, Jennifer, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and thank you for all the great work you guys are doing. Vanessa, I'd ask you for a who day, but I can't imagine you'll do that on camera here. Probably not. Well, thank you guys very much.
Best of luck to both teams, though. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. I'm just really the halftime show.
Hey, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Woo, that halftime show.
It's going to be a good time. Absolutely. Vanessa, Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you. Who day.